Three things converged at the same time, basically, that began this process of me creating these readings. The first was this whole canon of stories that I had learned growing up that I knew inside out, upside down, and backwards. The second was when I was studying during my master's degree program and looking at these same stories through the lens of feminist theology. And then the third was my own story at a particularly difficult time. During the season, I had the privilege of being walked alongside by a really wise woman, a mentor of mine. And one day when I was at a particularly low point, feeling awfully helpless and a lot of grief, she said to me, "Rana, why don't you take one of these stories that you know so well and imagine what the woman in the story might have to say to you?" So I did. And clearly I still do. I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and I discovered two really significant things. One, I wasn't alone. There was this wisdom and kindness and generosity and grace that came forth through these women's stories. And the second thing that I learned was they wanted to speak. So I listened. And I wrote more, and then I began offering these stories to others. And I watched as the impact that it had on them and their stories was beyond my wildest imaginings. So beautiful, so powerful, so incredible. So here's what I know. There is a deep and endless font of wisdom and support that is just waiting to be found and heard and learned from. It is powerful because it's your matrilineal line, and it's all yours for the asking, I promise.